Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. It's Manchester United Arsenal and we are back with Premier League watch-alongs on the United Stand, the best place to be with you and me and Manchester United beating the best teams in the world. Well, look, it would be nice for that, wouldn't it? But we will have to wait and see how that one pans out. Look, a few people talking about the team news. We'll certainly be talking about that. Some people talking about people who've been left out. We'll certainly be talking about that. I suppose the big news is, and we'll get it up on the screen for you now, there is no Sesko. He's on the bench, but there is no starting place for Sesko. There is no starting place for Ahmad either. I suppose in many ways it's very much the team that I predicted for the from the preview. Mason Mount starting, fair play to Robert McCormack, he shouted that one out. Casemiro starting, I shouted that out. Dalot starting, I shouted that out. De Ligt, Yoro and Luke Shaw. I mean, I'm not saying that Amrin watches the United Stand, that would be preposterous. I just think it's logical to start to be able to read this manager at this point, and I think some of us can. I'm not saying I totally agree with that team, but I've basically predicted it, bar one player. Sesko. I put Sesko in behind Mount and Cunha. He's putting Burmo in and dropped Sesko. So one player, I was out. I'm not surprised with Casemiro starting. I wouldn't start him, but I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised by Dalot starting. I think we had to go defensive, and we will go defensive. And I'm not surprised with Luke Shaw starting because of the... I mean, Luke Shaw and Mason Mount starting at the start of the season of 2025. I think that would have shocked a lot of people at the end of the season with their injury issues. So, look, give me your thoughts on the team. Lots to discuss there. What are your thoughts, Mark? Look... I'm not going to gloat because I pretty much predicted it in the preview. That wasn't my lineup. That was what I thought Amrin would do. Nearly called him Ten Hag. I think that I agree with the Dalot thing. I don't like it, but I agree with it because Arsenal are so much better than us. And it's worth just, well, we'll keep us on the screen for the moment, but the Arsenal team, just at a glimpse, is this. There it is. And as you can see, it's strong. It's a very, very strong Arsenal side. So I think coming back to Man United, we're going to be defending a lot. So I think that I sort of agree with putting Dalot in there, Dorgu. I understand putting Luke Shaw there. I might have put Aiden Heaven there if I'm being honest. But, you know, the back five I can understand. I think Binder in goal is... I want to get this actually in very early. I think it's really important to say this. I hope this is not going to be the case. But I feel like the headline, if we lose, is not ready and somebody has to be held accountable. Because I don't know about you, but I just don't feel that we're ready for the start of the season. Binder in goal. No Sesko up front. Mason Mount starting as a false nine. Casemiro next to Bruno in the midfield. Playing one of the best teams in Europe. I just don't think it's... It's not a surprising lineup to me, and I'm not moaning. I think we can get a result. It's not a surprise. But I would say... if we were to lose, the headline for me would be not ready. And if we were to get a draw or a win, I'd say, well, that's not a team that's going to get us top five. That's a team that got us a result today. To me, that looks like a team that's just set up to try and get a result. It's not something you could look at if we win and go, that's a team that's going to get us in the top four. So stranded FC in a way, half stop house as well. So yeah, so what would I have changed? I'd love to have seen Sesko starting. I'd love to have seen him starting. With regards to the bench, you've got Ahmad, Fredrickson, Heaton, Heaven, Maguire, Mainu, Agate, Xerxes, Sesko. Obviously, a lot of people have been talking about Rasmus being left out completely. Not a surprise, again. Man United need money, and he wants to stay. They want him to go, so you don't put him in the matchday squad. We haven't... The only thing I would say is we haven't treated other people like that in the past, but they're desperate for money, so they're trying to force him out, and he probably should take the message, really, because they don't want you, do they? The manager's not picked you, so I think he needs to make a move this week. I mean, looking at that Arsenal side... where's the Arsenal team? Some people are saying, have you spoken about Arsenal yet? I'm just about to. There it is. Let me just pause it there for a moment. So Arsenal, Raya, Calafiore, White, Saliba, Gabriel, what a back five that is. Odegaard, Zubamendi and Rice, what a midfield that is. And Saka, Gyökeres and Martinelli. Okay, take Martinelli out, what a front three that is. Bench, Havertz, Luis Skelly, Madueke, Moreno, Mosquera, Wanyeri, Timber, Trossard. I mean, most of their bench would start for us. Maybe not, but it's a bloody strong bench, you know. I don't actually believe that. I don't think most of their bench would start for us, but it's a bloody good bench. You know, your bench shouldn't be starters, but it should be players of that quality. Timber, Trossard, Wanyeri, Luis Skelly, Madueke, Mosquera, Merino, Havertz, Kepa. I mean, that's one of the best benches I've seen since I visited IKEA. I mean, it's a bloody good bench. A very, very good bench, and it's a bloody good starting 11, and it's going to be very, very difficult. I think the first 20 minutes are key, and I think if we don't get hold of the game in the first 20 minutes, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for us, you know. But it's hard to see how we're going to get hold of it, because I don't think the team is set up for it, really. But let's wait and see. Some of you, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe, by the way. We are doing things different on the watch along this year. So get ready for everybody who copies us to start doing things different. We've moved the score down here to clear up this space. I always found that the design of the old one just left me very narrow on a watch along. And I like to move around. So we've moved the score down there. It was sort of dead space. It said live watch along. So not really any change for you other than, if I can do this, the timer will be there. I like it. I like it. I like the change. And as I said, get ready for every other fan channel to copy it. So that's ready to go. But on top of that, very, very excitingly, we are sponsored by FOTMob today. Now, we've been working with FOTMob in the closed season. And let me get the phone up for you there. So we can interact with this during this. So we can look at the lineup. We can go into things like that. We can look at individual players. We can look at their stats. But the great thing about FOTMob is it's not just about that. You can look at news. You've got all your latest transfer news. Why is Rasmus not in the squad, etc. You can see the latest scores. You can follow different people like Manchester United, obviously. You can download FOTMob for free. The link's in the video description, or you can scan the QR code. But what I absolutely love about this for this season, and I think you're going to love it as well, is that when you go to the stats, you can also look at physical performance. Remember, we've always mentioned this a lot. You can look at physical performance of the team. So in the Forest-Brentford game, Brentford ran more than Forest. Distance covered 114 kilometres. But even better than that, if I go to the Chelsea game and I look at the lineup and then I go to somebody like who would cover a lot of distance, Caicedo, he covered 9.4 kilometres. So we've got these stats now. We can start to look at I've always wanted something that tells me how much people run around, and you know, 0-0 between Chelsea and Palace. So download FOTMob. We're going to use it during the game for stats and stuff. Obviously, we've still got the team stats that will be on our stats carousel, but FOTMob are sponsoring us, and we will be using that throughout the stream as well. So we've changed things up a little bit to get things moving in a better way. So thank you very much for that on FOTMob. And I'm just going to put that down there. Yeah, download it. It's free to download, and it's got loads and loads of stuff that I probably won't be able to show you because there's so much. I'm just going to use what I want. Apparently, Palace have been robbed today, says it. Okay, let me get some of your comments on this starting lineup. So Glenn Castle said our midfield is going to cost us big time. Scott Page says, on the plus side, bench looks strong to previous years, but Cunha should be a 10. Sesko hopefully gets half an hour. I'd take a point now, says Scott. IJ says, let's be honest, Martinelli would have Ahmad on toast. We had to start Delo. I completely agree with that. I think you have to go a little bit defensive in a game like this because it's where we are. Sacking himself, the team's a joke, says Mario. Ruben is making it really hard for me to like him, says Barney. Just play a striker, for God's sake. Mount must have some awful pictures of Amorim, says Barney. Look, if I'm being honest, I'd have started Rasmus today. I know we're trying to sell him, and I know we're trying to force him out, but if Sesko can't start, I'd have started Rasmus. Or Xerxes. And if Xerxes not fit, I would start Rasmus. Or I wouldn't start Obi. I think that's a step too far. But not starting a striker, to me, is ridiculous. But it might work. It might work. 404 has gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Didn't you always defend Crapmas? He's gone now, says Isaac. I back all players, mate. What makes me laugh, and you take a pop at me, get ready to sit down. It makes me laugh that people think I've got Rasmus on speed dial. because actually I speak to other Man United players as well, and I never reveal who they are. So with Rasmus gone, I've still got 3 or 4 other players that I speak to regularly. So sit down with that. I'm professional with who I talk to. It ain't just him. Love the new scoreboard graphics. Come on, United, says James. 4-4 Mad says, Mark, if Šeško comes in, who do you think he'll be subbed off for? Well, it'll be one of the front 3, of course. Onana left out. Amrin pushing him out, says Steve Griff. And Mark, we can't play out from the back unless Bruno plays deep. As always, seriously, we need a DM badly, press resistant, and one who can play from the back. This is Michael Murray. Look, I'm watching Gyökeres. I watch That's Football. I love football. I'm telling you now, if we weren't playing Arsenal, and I sort of wish we weren't, then why is Cantona not on the top shelf? Oh, he'll fall off, won't he? I think he'll fall off. He might not. Get Cantona up there. We need all the help we can get. Yeah, I think that with regards to, I would be watching Arsenal very excited on That's Football opening day. Gyökeres, I think, is fantastic. I really like Rice and Odegaard. Zubimendi could be one of the low-key signings of the summer. Saka's absolutely fantastic. Their centre-backs are brilliant. They're a brilliant team. I tipped them to win the league. And Gyökeres, it's a shame that Šeško's not on the pitch. Tannoy says, I told you we're going to get raw-dogged. Feel like not starting Šeško has ruined a bit of the excitement, says Zeno. You know what it feels like? It feels like an underdog. It feels like before a ball has been kicked, we've gone, you're going to have the possession, we're going to counter and defend. That's what it looked. That's the tactic. But it's the one I predicted in the preview. And I think that, as I've said to you before, whatever the result today, whatever the result against Man City and Chelsea and Liverpool in the first 10 games, I really don't think our season starts to take shape until game 10. And I really don't think Ineos or the Glazers are going to think that either. So we're going to need a bit of patience. I know that. Please do share the video. We've got nearly 40,000 watching already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get involved with the United Stand. You're all very, very welcome, of course. I don't get it. He's bottled it already, says Robert. Midfield too slow, says Cutting Shadows. Loving the new scoreboard overlay, says Justin. Thank you very much for that. I agree with Amrim on benching Šeško. Much rather ease him in than having him not score in his first 3 games. The thing is, Sanska, what I don't like about this lineup is that, and I'll get it back on the screen for you, is that in my mind, it's a little bit like, well, you know what it is? I'm quite calm and relaxed. We can get a result here. I've said we will get a result today. I don't think we'll get beat. But we're just not ready for the start of the season. Nobody can argue with that. If I was sat with Ruben Amorim or Sir Jim Radcliffe, I'd say, explain to me how we're ready for the start of the season. And they'd have a go, and I'd go, hold on a minute. We're not ready, are we? You haven't got a midfielder. You haven't got a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper that is our number one and loads of people don't want isn't even in the team. You can't play Šeško because you didn't get him in quick enough. Ahmad's not starting. You've got Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield. We're not ready. Don't tell me that this is ready, because it's not. We're not ready. Amrim in, says Robert McCormack. I hope you are Amrim in, Robert. Are you Amrim out? You love Mason Mount. I agree with Amrim, says Sanska. We've done that one. He wants to be sacked, says Alfie. Cowardly selection by Amrim. Do you agree, says Class of 99. You see, remember what I said over the summer, how the 8 o'clock shows have been so good? What did I warn everybody about the hidden Amrim out crew that was going to come back very, very quickly? And lo and behold, they are back. We haven't even kicked a ball yet. All you're going to get out of me is, I don't think we're ready. And I think that lineup proves that we're not ready. But whose fault is that? Rub says everyone's a gangster before the season kicks off. Bishop says it's my birthday. Come on, United. Happy birthday, mate. I hope you are ready to go with that. Don't forget, link in the description, or as it goes round, you can scan the QR code for player ratings. That's back for the new season. We don't do it pre-season. It's a waste of time. So you can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's free to play. You just need to register. Get the email, register, and then that's it once for the whole season. So get ready for that. Julian says, it just shows the slow business during July has cost us using Šeško in the first game. No preseason games. Gyökeres has already played 2. Julian, it's almost like those of us that were saying we're not moving quick enough in the transfer window have been proved right. And all those people who said it doesn't matter have been proved wrong. We're not ready. We weren't ready last year. De Ligt and Mazraoui came in very late, and Agati came in after 3 games. The year before, we weren't ready. The year before that, we weren't ready. The year before that, we weren't ready. And again, we're not ready. But that's all you're going to get out of me. I'm not going to start saying anything bad about Amorim or the players that he's picked. It's pretty much the team I mentioned in the preview, and I didn't see people saying Amorim out then. I knew we'd go defensive. I knew he'd pick Casemiro. I knew he'd pick Mount. And I knew he'd pick Dalot. I thought he'd pick Sesko. That's the disappointment, but that's because we've left it late in the window again. And all I'm going to say is we're not ready. But I said this in June. We weren't going to be ready because we hadn't done enough business. We may lose today 4-0, but thank God we will do it looking ripped, says Tusher. We're lean. Hi, Mark. Glad for the season to start. I'm quite concerned with Amorim starting Casemiro and Bruno. I don't know why, DeWald. My only concern is Casemiro. I don't get that. I don't get that. Why would you go him? I just don't get it. Mainu and Agate are way more mobile. That terrifies me. Really does. And also, what confuses me about Amorim and Casemiro is he left him out the team completely for all of January. And in pre-season, he didn't really use him. And then he's back using him again. Sorry, Mark, but he continually makes these weird lineup choices. People had more respect if you played the best team available, says Stuart. I've never been any manager out, says Robert. Good to hear. You're with me, aren't you? Jar, thank you very much for joining the Members Club and getting your badge in. We really appreciate your support. No striker, didn't work pre-season. Baffled, says Stephen. Just shows the slow business. Done that from Julian. Onana 55 plus 7 equals 92. Donnarumma 40 plus 12.5 equals 100. It's my birthday. That was from Saw That. Come on, United, says Bishop. What was the last time we were ready for the season, says Xander. Great point. Rest in peace, Terence Stamp, legend. I didn't know he died. Was he in Superman? I think he was. Yep, died today. 87. Thank you for that, Rita. Hi, Mark. Who do you hang your hat on to be the difference maker in a United shirt, if anyone? Bruno, as for you, as usual. So Jim Radcliffe says, Champers. Hi, Mark. My son is over from Australia and I live in Denmark. Can't wait for the game. Come on, United, says Jay. And look at their midfield. Zubimendi and Rice, and ours is Casemiro. We'll have a nightmare, says Sebastian. But it's not just that, is it, though? It's not. It's Odegaard as well. I knew he wasn't going to start Sesko, but Mount is a 9, says Alex. I did warn people about this morning on the transfer show. Onana and Rasmus there in the tunnel with Martinez and Leon. Leon not on the bench either. I did warn people about this in the morning show, didn't I? That Man United more and more, because their medical department is so dodgy, they tell managers 60 minutes. They tell managers don't start them, and managers listen to them. Our medical department has gone really risk averse. How many goals do we have to lose by for this to be a disaster, says Eggy? Remember, Arsenal are a very good team. And remember, Arsenal are here to win a league title. Very excited for the game today. Hope you are well. I'm really excited as well, Miles. We've got to pump it up. Come on. You've got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. Now, we've got to pump it up. Come on. We're Manchester United. The season hasn't started. We are capable of getting these sort of results. Of course we are. Let's do it. Andre Onana has been dropped. No injury, as Amorim confirms. He's not injured. He's recovered, but the other players did well during pre-season, so I have to find a balance. Next week, it will be a different story. This week, we chose the players. Onana dropped. Onana dropped then. Whew. All the so basically, Ruben Amorim has just announced that Onana's been dropped. And all the Amorim outers are going, just when I was out, you pulled me back in. Yeah, there you go. There's your manager. There's your manager. I mean, you can't argue with that, can you? You can't argue with that. I have not seen a single thing that tells me this manager is the one going to take us anywhere. And Rizzo, to be fair, you didn't announce that before that. Our midfield is going to cost us big time, says Glenn Castle. Kind of nervous about the lineup, says Aditya. Very excited, says Miles. On the plus side, bench looks strong to previous years, says Scott Page. Thank you very much for that. Okay. I keep getting a lot of people asking the same question, so I'm just going to answer it. What, if you were being concerned, would you say is the problem with that United side? Casemiro in the midfield, the back five being too defensive, and the counter-attack not having enough pace. Yeah. Luke Shaw hasn't had a good game in about 2 years. So, yeah, those would be the concerns. And also, can I just say, although Onana's been dropped, I don't rate Binder. So, you know, that would be something that I would have to say, in fairness, is a bit of a concern for me as well. Yeah. But look, to moan about it before the season's even before the game has even started. Sorry, to moan about it when the game is just starting isn't fair, because in fairness, we were never going to get a goalkeeper in the 4 hours between the morning show and now. So we're sort of repeating what we already knew. There was no team he was going to pick that was going to change that. Sheikh says, hope for a great game. Let's go United, says Sheikh. Do you think this means Onana is gone, says Sai? I hope so. I hope so. And look, the thing is, for everybody who's hammering him out, I would say this. That team's not ready, but it's not ready because of a lack of transfer activity. And when we came back in June, Amorim said, no Garnacho, no Rashford, no Sancho, no Malacia and no Anthony training. No manager's ever done that before, and the club backed him on it. Today, he said, no Rasmus in the team, he's got to go. No Onana in the team, he's got to go. So, you know, in a way, people go, I don't like the team, I don't like the team. And, you know, sometimes in life, you don't have to deal in absolutes. There can be goods and the bads. I think the good outweighs the bad with Amorim. I really do. I think that the bad, most of it comes from the fact that we're not very good at transfers. There's a lot of good things, you know. And also, I think that, you know, I look at that team and I think, why is Ahmad not in it? I mean, that's ultimately, well, there's two things I would say. Why is Ahmad? Look, Sesko, I would start, but that's going to come down to fitness, as we all know. He's not had a bloody pre-season. But Ahmad has, and Ahmad not starting, to me, is a real disappointment. So I would say Ahmad is a problem, not starting. But tactically, I did predict it, because you can't start Ahmad and Mbeumo and Cunha and Mount. So one of them's had to go. I think with regards to the midfield, I would have liked to see Mainu play. I like Agate, but I would love to have seen Mainu starting today. More mobility. He's meant to be our future. He's played in that position in the Euros. He's a better passer of the ball. He's more mobile. But, you know, at the end of the day, let's not forget that the reason he's gone with Casemiro probably is because he's saying, I need a new midfielder, which we all agree with as well. So the bottom line is, I understand the frustration, but the big thing you've got to put in your head is, we're not ready for this season. We haven't got a goalkeeper. We haven't got a striker who's fit. We haven't got a midfielder. And we're playing one of the best teams in Europe, and therefore one of the best teams in the world, who are rocking up to Old Trafford ready, you know? And that's as deep as my criticism's going to get. We're just not ready for the start of this season. Casemiro, Delo and Shaw will be destroyed by Rice, Martinelli and Saka, says Mandalorian. Free Ahmad, says Scott McTominay. Free Ahmad. We thought we got rid of that. I'll tell you what's really important as well, tactically. I like to, in fact, I'll write these down because I like to have these for the match reaction. Bruno equals long balls. 3 centre-backs become 2. And my third point is going to be the midfield, of course. But I think that his midfield selection, does it work or not? Because I'm massively worried about Casemiro. But Bruno cannot hit long balls today. I know we're going to counter, but Mbeumo and Cunha, if you looked at them at Brentford and at Wolves, they want the ball into the feet. That's what they want. So Yeah, let's see if we get that. Thank you to everybody who is tuning in on Twitch. You can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. By doing that, you can get a subscriber and free from ads on there. Thank you very much for tuning in. Mandalorian has said, happy match day 1. No, he hasn't. I'm just catching up on some super chat. Mainu's slow, not mobile, says Beesleg. He's better than Casemiro, mate. Casemiro, Amrim has killed my excitement and hope for the season with that team selection. Favourites because Bruno and Delo will sack him, says T. Kick-off at 1 a.m. in Australia. Who cares? United. Wow, what a game, Braden. What a game to start the season with. Happy match day 1, says Rich. Thank you for getting us through the summer again. Hope you're well, brother. Mount Madness incoming, says Rich. I never want United to sack a manager and repeat the cycle. I hope Amram is not stubborn and make changes at the right time, unlike the final, says Sadiq. Free Ahmad, says Scott. Mandalorian's worried about Casemiro, Delo and Shaw, saying they'll be destroyed by Rice, Martinelli and Saka. Only a Sith deals in absolute, says Per. What is wrong with Ruben? Dalot is horrible. Cunha is not a striker. And Casemiro is a traffic cone, says Tyler. Is there too much number 10s in that team, says Sai? Well, there is at the moment, yeah. Look, I've also, just on Dalot, why would you be surprised? I've always said that Dalot is a big favourite of his and he'll pick him. Are you excited to watch Gyökeres? Wilmot, thanks for subscribing with Prime. You're a legend. I would be excited to watch Gyökeres if he wasn't playing Man United. I've got Gyökeres for Golden Boot. I think he's bloody brilliant. And I think hopefully we can keep him quiet today because I think he's going to be brilliant. Why on earth is Mount playing as a striker, says Sam. I think Cunha's going to be playing as a striker. I just think they've got that wrong on our stats feed. I watched Belieber closely yesterday, jogged around, got subbed on 68 minutes. Then after the game he did this I'm a Belieber tweet. Thoughts, Mark, says Daddy. Cheers, Mark. Let's hope for an improvement this season and the beginning of something new, says Nath Footy. I don't understand Amrin, please help. I don't understand Amrin, please help me, says Sudan. And would a 3-2-3-2 system be okay? Mainu Agate as the 2. Bring back Victor Valdez, says Matthew. Thank you, Alan Casey. Do you think this means Onana is gone, says Sai? Yeah, I think so. Scan when that goes round, you can scan it or go through the link in the description for player ratings because that's our player rating system at the bottom. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I just wanted to have a quick look at the Arsenal lineup again. Just in case you haven't seen it. I don't want to scare you, but there it is. There is the Arsenal lineup, of course. I can see it on the screen as well. Yeah, big. Right, let me just get ready for this. Make sure I've got the timer ready. I've tested the timer. You've tested the timer. Don't worry about it. I'm going to stick with a draw. I think that people write United off at their peril over the last decade. There's been so many games where we're going to lose, and we don't lose. We can beat anybody on our day. Arsenal are a fantastic side. I get the concern, but you know what? I think we'll get something. Firkin Dave, thanks for subscribing with Prime and N Series as well. Don't forget, throughout the stream today, I will be using FOTMob. They are sponsoring our show today, and we will be using it. So this is how it works. Why is it doing that? Oh, I know. We've seen a bit of a Twitch thing there. Thickbridge. There we go. FOTMob. Free to download. Links in the description or scan the QR code. We're going to be using this, so in-game stats that we can have a look at. There'll be loads of stuff to take a look at, as you can see. But the exciting thing I want to look at is, and I was showing this off before, is they've got this new thing. I mean, it's really good. Like, you can look at stuff like that. But if you look at the lineup, you can go into an individual player like Sangari, 10.8 kilometres. That's one of the best of the weekend. I think Szoboszlai and Tavernier for Liverpool and Bournemouth ran 11.5 kilometres on Friday night each. So I'm really excited to bring that into the show as well. Good win for them. I did say that Ndoye would be a good signing. And he got a goal today, didn't he? But download FOTMob for free. You can get all your news on there as well. You can follow certain things. Why is Rasmus not in the squad? Because they want to sell him. That's what they want to do. So thank you very much, everybody, for that. We will be using that throughout the season. So you can download it for free. Links in the description. Thank you very much to FOTMob. Obviously, we've got our stats carousel going round, which will show you the basic team stats as well. I think we've got that. I can't see it. Right. I will get that checked. Oh no, there it is. It wasn't there. It is now. There we go. Lovely stuff. So we're about ready to start. New timer. New moving of the scoreboard. Expect a lot of people to copy this like they did the old one. But we're ready to go. Thank you, everybody. Rest in peace to Optus Sports. The Aussies will know, says Hyans. Delo is a defensive safety net with Casemiro. I've just had a message from a Liverpool fan saying respect to Old Trafford. I think that I've spoken about this a lot on this channel and on That's Football. And you know what? Liverpool Football Club will never forget Jota, but football won't either. I think we've all been, you know, shocked and saddened by what happened. And I wouldn't expect anything different from any football club in the mark of respect they've shown over the last few weeks and again today. And they'll continue to do it because a fantastic footballer taken way too soon. The Premier League season starts. Manchester United, Arsenal, we're up and running. The time is below me. Let's get ready to go. Let's see what Manchester United have got to offer today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got nearly 45,000 watching. Please share the video and get involved. Thank you very much, everybody. Tom Rockingham and Slight C9, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. That rhymed. Thank you, Slight C9. Raya has got the worst trim in total, though, says Too Easy. Long throw in by Arsenal, headed away by Yoro. Very important in the first 20 minutes that we're not slow. We can't be snails. And Mbeumo has caught... Oh, he's played on. Referee says play on. We've got a 3v3. Mbeumo into Cunha. It's a shame. It's a shame. There was somebody on the back post there and Mbeumo completely didn't see him. You've got to take advantage of that. That would have been a foul in the build-up, by the way. That would not have been given. He did catch Zubimendi in the face accidentally, but we probably should have done better with that breakaway, which is a bit promising. I don't agree with some of his selection, but regardless of who he picks, definitely need a midfielder and a keeper, says Ian Tracy if we want fifth. Thank you very much. Sean Henry, Harvey, thanks for being a member and getting your badge in. Nervous and also excited, says Ross. I agree completely. I'm just hoping we can catch... I'm hoping we can catch Arsenal out, you know? I'm hoping we can catch them a bit cold. Defend first half and attack the second half, says Love Hate Games. A back five and no number 9. Are we away or at home, says Nor. We're playing one of the best teams in Europe, mate. That's what we're doing. Look at the lineups. I think we're always going to play like this. Soy says, I'm staying positive today. Want to enjoy first game of the season, but Mount up top. Luke Shaw starting. No Agate. Come on. Evan P, thanks for joining the members club. Casemiro with a free header into Bruno, who flicks it to no one. Keep an eye on Gyökeres. Well, I want to keep an eye on Sesko as well. Cunha and Mount interchanging early in the first few minutes. Mohammed says, the lineup says that Amrim's going for a draw. I'm hoping we can nick it 1-0. Mr. Shampers, welcome to the members club. Another season to sacrifice for the next window, says Aditya. Udiggy says, what's your prediction? 1-1. Well, 1-1. I've gone with the draw. Going with the draw. Long ball from Brienda. It's actually, I was going to moan, but it found Mason Mount. I mean, we've started off okay here. I mean, it's not the sort of performances that are going to get the crowd rocking. But Bruno is a number 8. I'll never get it. Look, there we go. Long ball from Bruno into Dorgu. Goes out for a throw-in. Missed these watch-alongs. Good to be back, says Sean. Thank you, Sean. That's it, Bruno. Play the simple pass. There ain't no way. I mean, I'm already watching Gyökeres for a minute. There's no way he's not going to score goals in this league. He's an absolute beast and he's fast. Hello, Mark. Great to see you doing well. Let's go United, says Songa. Thank you very much for your super chat, pal. Do that through the $sign. What phase do you think Arteta is in right now, says keeper of the goal? Phase, win it. They've got to win the Premier League, really, haven't they now? In my opinion. Right, United got a chance to whip a cross in. And it's a crap cross by Bruno. We're actually a little bit lucky that the clearance by Arsenal wasn't good. Cathal, thanks for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe, by the way. We're live every morning at 10 o'clock, every afternoon at 2 o'clock, and every evening at 8 o'clock on the United Stand. We're only 100 away from 151,000, so please do subscribe. Here's Saka with the first chance to move. And I think that was Luke Shaw that came across. Bit rusty so far, but if you watch the Newcastle Villa game, it's not unusual. Ball down the channel. De Ligt against Gyökeres for the first time. Strong by Gyökeres. Luke Shaw's there to help him out. That will be a battle for all of our centre-backs. He is Mr. Physical. Vipex says you're going to regret not selling Bruno. Or we're going to regret not selling Bruno. Only been a few minutes, but how great is it knowing your players will pass but not shoot on sight, says Amir. Sesko at half-time, Mark, says D. I'd say 60 minutes. Give him the last half an hour is probably what Amrim's been told. What do you think of Sunderland's return to the league? I'm glad they won. I predicted it, and I'm doing well, win, lose or draw. Although I think Robbie might have said that's a lovely ball by Mason Mount into Mbeumo. Get the shot off. Straight at Raya. Good. That was good. That was good. That's exactly the sort of ball you want from Mbeumo. You want the through ball in the final third, not from the midfield. That was really good. If we can get those opportunities, that's where we can make some hay. We've started more positive than last year. You could feel the nerves. They look a little bit more fearless, says Mario. And Yins, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. We're 3 points off the top. Let's go, says Chris. Trixie says United have started off quite well here. Well, I said this last night. Like, it's so important that we start in the first 20 minutes well. Because if Arsenal have loads and loads of the ball, then the confidence will drop. Richard says, thank you for all you do, Mark. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Another chance for Bruno. Can he do better with this free kick? Boos for Gyökeres are crazy. Welcome to modern football. I mean, he's never played for Man United. Apparently, we're never in for him, and he wanted to go. He signed for Arsenal. I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? But welcome to football. Have a shot, Dorgu. Oh, I thought he caught that quite well, but Raya just looked at it and waved. Jibs, thanks for joining and being a member. Snarky Spud, thanks for becoming a subscriber on Prime. Appreciate it. For all the hate in the chat for Mount starting, he's having a wonderful start to this game with his pressing and passing, says Ivan. I don't think it's hate, mate. I think it's just that we don't want to see 3 number 10s as a front three. You know, it doesn't mean it can't work as a one-off, but people want to see a striker. It would be like Arsenal if they started Havertz and put Gyökeres on the bench. People don't really want to see it. It doesn't mean you can't get a result, but people don't want to see it. Aggressive start from Arsenal, by the way. They're giving up a lot of free kicks here. I've been watching all the videos lately, and when they get uploaded, couldn't miss this watch along. Hope all is well, Mark, says Kanishka, and you as well, pal. Thank you very much. Nearly 50k watching. Please do share the video if you're watching on YouTube. Just click that share button, share it on your socials. Dorgu did get caught quite badly by Saliba there. I'm surprised he didn't get booked, but referee letting it go. Very physical from Arsenal, says Trixie. I agree. Another long ball by De Ligt into Dorgu. That's worked a few times, and it'll end up being a corner for United. Set pieces could be really important. Can we get Dennis on since it's his first game, says Tom Grant. Right, these corners have got to be really good. Really good. We've got height. You know, you've got Casemiro, you've got Yoro, you've got De Ligt. I haven't got Šeško at the moment, but we've got to be good with these corners. Crowther says I can see United scoring first. I think scoring first in a game like this is so, so important. Bruno on the cross. It's a good one. It's high. Raya. I thought for a minute Raya was going to get stuck there, but oh, here we go. Watch out for the replay. Oh, look at this into Sesko. Not Sesko. Saka. Good tackle. Mason Mount. Best player on the pitch at the moment. Best player on the pitch at the moment. That's good defensive work as well. Sort of wondering why we bought a number 10 if Mason Mount can stay fit, but we'll talk about that later in the season. Good tackle. Very good tackle against Saka because Saka was in a very, very dangerous position there. Winder, thanks for subscribing. Let's go. Top 4 this season. Hope you're right, mate. Right. Get it out. Get it out of the box. Get it out of the box. Yoro, what are you doing? No, we cleared it away anyway. Good clearance by Binder. Don't mess about with the ball at the back in the box. We've started off well. Let's not do what we do. Go on, Mbermo. Oh, that was Cunha. Not, you know, good pass, but got to make sure you make it. Now it's Martinelli coming down the left-hand side, but Cunha wins it back well. Competitive starts. Competitive start. That's what it's all about. Don't want to give away corners. Good play by Delo. I tell you what. There's not a bad player on the pitch for United at the moment. And all the people that people will maybe going, oh, why are they playing Casemiro, Delo, Mount? I think they've started off reasonably well. Here's Odegaard, though, into the box. Don't dive in. Who's diving in there? Good covery by De Ligt. Yeah, I think it's Yoro dives in, and thankfully De Ligt's read it and just stays up on his feet. Bobbers, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Right, this is where you got to be really careful. Arsenal on corners. Although, is that a bit of a myth now? You know, they had that glow up, didn't they? But I don't know. I mean, Gabriel is actually immense from corners, to be fair, and this is something we need to improve on, certainly, this season. Set piece is a big part of the game. Oh, for fuck's sake! Who's in goal? Absolute moron! Oh, we don't need a goalkeeper. We don't need a bloody goalkeeper. What is he doing? He's like a bloody... Oh, Jesus Christ. What was I just saying about bloody corners? You can't do that. That's on Sir Jim. That's on Joel Glazer. Don't get a fucking goalkeeper. We don't need a bloody goalkeeper. We don't need a goalkeeper. He's like a bloody kangaroo trying to swim. Look at him. Look at this. Absolute joker. Mate, you've got an advantage over everybody else. You can use your bloody hands. Look at... Oh, that's so fucking weak. That is so weak. It's weaker than a butterfly's fart. That is absolutely awful. And this is what I mean. I don't trust Binder as much as I don't trust Onana. Look at him patting that. Bloody hell. It's like he's making a pancake. Oh, bloody punch it. What are you patting it for? He thinks the ball's a bloody puppy. Fucking hell. What a crappy goal to concede. And we're back again, aren't we? 3 months I've waited for this. 3 months we've waited for this. I'd rather put a Manscaped trimmer in goal. At least it's good at ball handling. Fucking idiot. But you know what? You know what? Seriously, is there anybody in the Manchester United universe that said we needed to buy a goal? That said we didn't need to buy a goalkeeper? You know, can anybody seriously say I'm surprised? And the big question now is, how are we going to deal with going behind, and what happens here? And unfortunately, it's happening in the first 15 minutes of the season. Football, right? Football is rhythmic. It's not a fantasy. If you're weak in goal, you will concede goals. It's as simple as that. And we've got to come from behind now. Oh, free kick on the edge of the box. Zubimendi on Bruno. Looked a bit soft, but it's a good position. Need to do something with this, because that's a big blow to go behind. Did look a little bit soft, but at the end of the day, well, you'd expect a foul for that. You would expect a foul for that. Zed makes a great point. Why was Mason Mount marking Saliba? Stuart Walker says that's a bullshit goal. You can't back into the keeper. Should have been a foul. Stuart, I'd have agreed with you 18 months ago when it happened to James Trafford playing for Burnley against Luton. I absolutely agree with you. But the PGMOL changed the rules that you can barge into a goalkeeper, and we've had it for over a year now, so we can't moan about that. I think it is a foul, but, you know, you can't argue with it because it's been like that for 18 months. So I agree with you that it's a foul, but the PGMOL changed the rules. So, you know, it is what it is. Champers Mark says, Jay, crap free kick. Sorry, I haven't changed the score. A bit of a problem there. I just did it manually. As if playing Turkey's third choice keeper is a mistake, says Matthew. Bullshit, you can't back into a goal, says Stuart. Call out Bruno, he played the ball to cause it, says Jeremy. Nicholas has gifted a membership. This match is making me anxious as hell. Going to go to the Polish shop and get some strong beers, says Sam. What about Bruno passing in the box? Is not like that. It's almost like all the Oh, Odegaard. Odegaard. Luke Shaw's going to get booked. It was wild. I don't know what Luke Shaw's doing here. If he doesn't get booked, he's lucky. I mean, Odegaard just sent Casemiro back to Brazil. Don't think he got booked. I think he got away with that. Is he allowed to body the keeper, says Hypochondriac? You are now, yeah. Jason Marsh says you'll have to switch your display cabinet to the other side now. Yeah, well, no, we have got something to fill that space. Both keepers need to be dropped, says Henry. It's early, but we're looking serious, says Jack. Oh, that was obviously an old super chat. Good so far. Would like to see Bienda do well, says Bounty Hunter. These are horrible, aren't they? Delo looks trim, says Gareth. My 6th season with the United stand and watching you watch along, says Ian. Thank you. I'm loving the intensity so far, says Ryan. Yeah, I'm not going to read those because they were before the goal. Cunha was wide open on that free kick, says... hold on. Oh, fucking hell, he didn't even catch that, did he? Bloody hell. Olive oil on his hands. Cunha was wide open on that free kick, says Dimitri. Everyone playing well, but Bruno and Bienda, says Mank in LA. Get Bruno off my club, says Medieval. What are we doing here, passing out from the back? I mean, if you're Arsenal, you're loving this. You've not started off particularly well. You're 1-0 up from a crap mistake, and your confidence is going through the bloody roof. If it's a foul and it's not given, why don't our players do the same? All our goalkeepers are soft, says Jake. Look, honestly, that used to be a foul, but for 18 months it's not been a foul, Jake. So, and Arsenal have been doing that for, well over a year. I blame the keeper. Like, you can't play a game in the Premier League and go, oh my God, he pushed me. Saliba can only use his head and his body. Binder can use his hands. He's got to go like that. Just as the ball's coming in, he's got to move. He's got to go like that, and then he's got to punch. What he does is he gets taken off guard and tries to palm it like he's waving a bloody taxi. Sati says if Sesko scores, I think he'll do the Rashi celebration. Colin Bolger's just gifted a membership. Nice ball in. Why is Calafiori? Oh, he's offside. Bloody hell. I'm panicking there. The big problem we've got now is that we're playing counter-attacking football and we're 1-0 down. We're going to have to go on the front foot. Arsenal very good defensively. King Cobra says you've got to get Sesko on now. Well, I would have played a striker anyway. I mean, we could have started... Well, maybe Xerxes not ready. I suppose you could have started Rasmus, but I think not starting a striker just doesn't give a focal point to the team. It just comes back all the time. Look at this from Saliba. Good interception. Bruno, get it out your feet, quick. No. He needed to pay that pass about 2 seconds earlier. Well played, Delit. Thoughts on Jamie Carragher, says Stan. Now's not the time. We started the season with just one young striker, same goalkeepers and Bruno as an 8. Same problems as last year, says Orly. Is a keeper not trained? If they're going to go for a ball, take everything in their weight with them, says Matthew. Well, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. There are goalkeepers out there that would just absolutely, like Zed says, Donnarumma would have took the ball and everybody else. You've got, it's like going in a boxing ring and somebody's got 2 arms tied behind the back and then you get knocked out. You're sort of like, all they've got is their bloody head. You can use your fists. Turn, bang, throw a punch. And Binder's there going, he's pushed me. Fucking you're allowed to use your hands. Sakin says volleyball coaching has been on point. And also, why is he palming it as well? Even if he palms it well, it's still going to be in the 6-yard box. I'd fancy an Arsenal player to get the second ball. Ian Tracy says we have a couple of issues clearly exposed again. Poor goalkeeper and Bruno messing up again in a deep position. Gave away the corner. Mason pushed Saliba in to be in, says Mohamed. Mason Mount should not be on Saliba anyway. I mean, who was marking Gabriel? Still can't believe Manu bought Binder. He was a meme at Fenerbahce, says Eras. All window I've been thinking, surely it can't cost as much for a safe pair of hands. Doesn't even need to be world class. Just a steady Eddie, says Sam. Well, a lot of you said, what about Ramsdale? And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want Ramsdale, but... And Sean C makes a great point. It's not just one goalkeeper we need bloody 2. Binder won't leave as well, remember. Break the bank for a goalkeeper, says Jack. Bruno's set pieces are awful, says James. Crowther says, for a club like Man United, how can you not produce your own goalkeeping talents? The thing is, I don't think Arsenal have even played that well. Yana says, Casemiro looks awful. Back in the day, goalkeepers were allowed to put their knee up when challenging for the ball to protect themselves. Do that now, it's a foul, says Alex. Amrim's excuse about time to adjust to the league for Sesko does not excuse him not playing a striker. We've got no focal points, says Colin. That was my point 4 as well. I said before the game, how's Bruno going to do in the midfield? Are the 3 centre-backs going to become 2 so that we can move up the pitch? Will the midfield selection of Casemiro cost us? And will the... here we go. Look at the midfield. It's wide open again on Bruno's side. Odegaard. Good tackle, Casemiro. To be fair, there has... Oh, here we go. Come on, 2v2. This has got to be a chance. 2v2. Look at the way Arsenal get back. Ah, he shoots, and it's a corner. Jibs has gifted 5 memberships. You're a legend, mate. That mistake has ruined our good start. Sick of it, says James J. Sorry, I'm just taking a few notes. Don't forget to check out FOTMob. I definitely want to look at the distance covered at half time. Don't forget about that. You can check all your stats out on there as well. More Mark commentary, please, says Ian. I'm doing my best, but it's a corner at the moment, mate. Corner with Mbermo on it. He can put a good cross in. Come on, get one back. Good cross. Headed away, doesn't even beat the front post. Sign for Man United, and basically your corners will be so shit you can't beat the man on the front post. How about we buy 2 keepers and bin these prats, says Mr. Champers. Why didn't we go after Donnarumma, says X? I don't think Donnarumma was ever realistic, if I'm being completely honest. 25 minutes gone. I mean, look, I don't know whether we'll have many Arsenal fans watching, and I can never analyse the opposition when it's my team. But lovely play by Ben White here. But I don't think Arsenal have started off particularly well. Here's Saka. Don't let him be there. Don't let him be there. Martinelli. Close him down, Delo. Oh, good. That's all right. Keeper's got it. Glenn, 87, has gifted a subscription. Thank you very much, Glenn. Appreciate you. Let me just double check here. United are in for a tough match, says Matty P. Someone just said the fall off of Man United needs to be studied. Mate, we've been stuck in fucking school for 10 years. We're studying it every bloody week. Sign Costa, says Wan. Antonis says, I cannot be optimistic watching this disgrace. I think you need a striker on now. You need a focal point. We can't just keep counter-attacking. I think Binder has the most touches with his feet on the pitch, says Ben. Delo's going to overlap for you. Good play by Delo. Come on. Oh, for fuck's sake. Go, go, go. No, he's cleared it. I think he was offside. How do you get offside? How do you get offside on an overlap? You need to fucking speak to Gary Neville. He was the king of the overlap. That's why he's called the overlap. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate. I don't know whether that's the pass or Delo, but we shouldn't be offside there. Get Sheshko on. Sack Pat. Thanks everyone who's watching. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're very close to 151,000. Remember we've got match reaction, fan forum afterwards as well. What's your thoughts, honestly? Honestly, it's not a terrible performance. I think if you spoke to the most honest Arsenal fan, they'd say there's nothing in it. We've done okay, but it really is something that cost you across the season. I think marginally we've been better, you know. I mean, I'm not saying we deserve to be in front. We've created nothing, but I think we've been as good as Arsenal. But this is exactly what we were talking about all summer. In games like this, if you haven't got a good goalkeeper, they cost you the game. And I don't think people understand it. When we're saying we need a goalkeeper, it doesn't mean the rest of the team's going to be shit. I think the rest of the team have done a good job. But in a tight game like this, it's 1-0 to Arsenal, you know? And that's why everybody's been saying we need a goalkeeper. And to go into the season with Binder and Onana, you're going to concede goals. Lovely play by Odegaard. Where's the midfield? Watch Odegaard. Watch Odegaard. Oh, he's overhit it, I think. Yeah. Glad I didn't pay for streaming. Not another $1 till the Glazers back in properly, says Kana Dave. We have had 200 million. SOS Martinez says, Riz, what happened to putting the big fella on corners? I think we're playing well, honestly, minus the goalkeeper mess up. SK, exactly what I was trying to say. Jake Angus, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Who are the coaches for the goalkeepers, says Twitter. I don't think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to, watch out. Well in. Here we go. Come on, Dorgu. So much space. 4v4. Oh, what a hit! Shit! That was a great hit by Dorgu. I tell you, this guy this season, he's coming for Premier League best 11 left back. He is moving through the gears. People slagging him off last season. This guy's the real deal. What a bloody goal that would have been. That would have been an absolute banger. So, the way he connects with that is just... It's like Romeo and Juliet. Just doesn't go in. It did with them though, didn't it? Did they get to do that before the end? Romeo and Juliet? I think they did, didn't they? You know what I mean? Like, I think they did. Did they? Can we ask... Can we get confirmation on that? Did Romeo and Juliet actually get to do it? Anyone else see Mount grab Cunha to get up the pitch? Love it, says Jay. Honestly, like you said, we need a focal point. We've been creating attacks. No striker to finish it. Cunha seems missing, says Reza. You've got to get the ball into Cunha. Like, he's got to get it into feet. That's what he is. He's certainly not... There we go. That's where he wants it. Into feet there. And look what he does. He's away. That's exactly what Casemiro did to Cunha there. Is exactly what he wants. Into feet. He's got to keep giving him the ball into feet. He's a lovely player at, you know, creating space, dribbling. Marin on the map. Thank you very much for the super chat. Today, Mount is on form, says Matthew. Just that one bloody mistake, you know. In the big games, it costs you. If we were playing Burnley, we'd be 6-0 up. Anyone else see done that? Thank you very much. Why do our scouts ignore English lower league, says Markoville. Oh, what's going on here again? How are they on the break here? Odegaard into Gyökeres. He's wide right, though. Interesting cross. Martinelli went for the volley. Sharp intake of breath there. Like jumping in an ice bath. I was like, go on, Cunha. Whoa, go on. Go on then. Oh, damn it. What a run. What a run. That's what he can do. Just didn't get the shot off. What a run that was. The game's opening up. It's opening up here. Broadway. He just ran out of legs, didn't he? It was a tired shot at the end. But, you know, we've done well. It's just that error. We're playing really well. Seshko in the second half, says Bounty Hunter. Why haven't they done the same process, buying Cunha and Mbeumo and bought a keeper already, says Ryan. Look at this run by Cunha. Ball into feet. Here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about 2 minutes ago. Yeah, he gets a little bit lucky, but, you know, you create your own luck when you run at players. He ain't going to score from there. He's just stretching, isn't he, a little bit. If you think about the Dorgu shot, you think about what Cunha's done there. I mean, Gyökeres hasn't had a sniff. I'm not going to talk about pockets, but he hasn't had a sniff so far. Casemiro, long ball over the top. Lays it off. Have a shot! Have a shot, Cunha! Straight at the keeper. Right. Let me... just going to go to... Let's have a look at this on FotMob. Just want to have a quick stat check. I know you've got the team stats going round, but... 58% possession. XG, they've got a better XG than us. Why? 6 shots to their 2. 81% pass rate. I don't know why they've got a better XG than us, but I don't trust that. Played by De Ligt. Yeah, we're beating them all over the pitch. Look, Jules won 57%. Ground Jules won 61%. I mean, realistically, they're covering more distance than us. Doing a little bit more walking. Odegaard, straight at the keeper. I tell you what, it's turning into a good game at the moment. They're the FOTMob stats player ratings. Casemiro. I don't know what game they're watching. Then again, I don't, you know, to be fair, it's fashionable to say Casemiro. I mean, I think De Ligt's done well. Casemiro's done all right, to be fair. Odegaard, Saliba. I mean, their best players are defenders. I wouldn't argue with that. Yeah, we'll come back to that at half time. I like the distance covered thing a lot. Change Bruno. He's getting a lot of pelters. Look, I love Bruno. He's a number 10. You're asking him to play. I mean, look, what do you expect? You know, you crack an egg, you put it into a hot pan, bit of oil, bit of milk, mix it together. You're going to start making an omelette if you put a bit of butter in as well. You put Bruno in the midfield against a midfield like Declan Rice, Odegaard and Zubimendi. He's going to struggle. You put him as a number 10, he's going to play better. And also, I think we've responded quite well to going 1-0 down. You know, I was talking about that, whether that's changed. I'm quite encouraged by that. Because that was something we were talking about in the summer. When we go 1-0 down, do we bottle it? That's important. What we got? 8 minutes to go to half time. Oh! What happened there? I shouldn't look down at my phone. Actually, I should. Sometimes it's quite good. Gyökeres has been underwhelming, says Emily Derry. De Ligt has done well. That looked like a bad foul by Casemiro. Referees let it go. Don't know why he's let that go, but we'll take it. Bruno. Think United have played well. Pleased to see, says Sean. Just need to get a goal back. It was Raya with a mistake at the back. Cunha again. Look at Cunha again. Yeah, it was a good save by Raya, actually. Cunha again. Cunha's the key. He's come alive in the last few minutes. That was going in. Brilliant save by Raya. Gets away from Declan Rice. Brilliant save. Unlucky. Binder is the stale toast to the nicely fried egg, says Andrew Kelly. Do you think if Sesko comes on as a 9 and Cunha is on the left, that would be the best formation, says Soho? Yeah, I mean, we need a focal point. Like, Gyökeres has been underwhelming. Done that one from Emily Derry. How are we playing, Mark, says Liam? I think we're playing well. I just think, you know, we're not ready for the start of the season, are we? Because we've got a couple of... I mean, Bruno's not playing well, and the keeper's made a big mistake, and yet we shouldn't be losing. Worst case scenario, if we were to lose today, do you think this will influence the transfer market, says Gary? We need a bloody goalkeeper. De Ligt's been immense, says Dan. Bruno been our worst player, says Nath Footy. Delit is bullying Gyökeres, says Aiden. If I'm Amorim, I'm throwing Big Ben in the game right now, says Chris. Here's Saka on the attack. Got to watch the runners coming through. Odegaard. Little dink. Yoro does well. Go on, Mbeumo. Go on. Use your pace. Going to give a foul there. Always going to give a foul. We may be losing, but the mentality of the team has changed since last season, and that's a win on its own, says Scottish FM. Midfield a bit empty, says Evan P. Nina, thanks for subscribing. Bruno is terrible again, says Mitcha. Get him out of the team. Nice to see Bruno more stationary. Cunha and Mbeumo looking lively, says Ivan. There's a lot of energy in this team. That's a lovely ball into Saka. He won't keep it in. Oh, he will. And it goes out for a corner. Right, this is it though, isn't it? Arsenal can be, you know, not massively in the game and then a couple of chances. We're getting chances more than I thought, says SK. Callum Shaw, welcome to thank you very much for becoming a member. Thank you very much for that. I think this is a great point by Twitter Cairo. He says it's always one player that causes us to lose vital points. You're only as strong as your weakest link, aren't you? And Man United's performance today has been good. Look at the stats. But one stupid error has cost us a goal. You know, if Raya makes a mistake on one of those, you know, that shot from Cunha and palms it in, it's 1-1. But he won't because he's a top goalkeeper because they've spent on it. Saka with the cross. Crap cross. We'll take that. Edge of the box. Cleared by Delo. Ben White. Oh, that's a goal kick. Yoran Delit taming Gyökeres, says Dean. Simo says Mbeumo's crossing's been a bit bad. He can't beat the first man. It's bad if we're all thinking Onana would be better, says Mario. Well, I do think Onana's better than Bienda. I do. Wayne says, I've been impressed with United. Look, better mentality since going 1-0 down. And a lot better energy. And the system looks better than last season as well. And as I've said, look, it's whether patience can preside or reside at Manchester United. Because I don't think our first 10 games dictate our season. I think it's game 10 to 30. And if we can keep getting better... That's a yellow card for Calafiori, by the way. Cunha, done that one from me. The Lemon Lover says, Cunha and Mbeumo with Sesko up front could be unreal. Can Martinez play centre mid when he comes back, says Joel. Well, we're not going to drop. We're not going to drop Bruno, are we? Nick Warren Coach says, we look so much better. We look like a team with a plan. I think that this is ours to take. Bruno off, Sesko on. The rest of the team doing well, says Tejas. I mean, you could drop Mount into the midfield, couldn't you? I mean, he won't take Bruno off, by the way. We know that. Lovely ball by Delit. I tell you what, Delit's had a great game. Here's Dorgu. Cross is not quite there. And I tell you what, from United's point of view, we didn't see this in pre-season. Put on Sesko and Mainu and we might get the goals flowing. We really need to place the goalkeeper too, says Lee. SK says the chat's been a bit harsh on Bruno. He's been the better centre midfielder out of him and Casemiro. We aren't being dominated. Sesko will make a huge difference, says SK. And Ian says, look at Raya. Man United need a goalkeeper like that. That's a lovely ball by Casemiro. Mason Mount into Dorgu. To Cunha. Here he goes. Mount. Arsenal clear it. 2 minutes to go in the first half. LGD says, any further knowledge on Garnacho? He's probably sat at home playing EAFC. Good switch of the play to Delo. And I've done that one from Simo, thank you. Actually enjoying the game. The style of play is far more watchable, says Graham. Mark says, will we sign Donnarumma? I don't think so. Arsenal FC style of players to get the corners as well. I've not been very impressed with Arsenal. I mean, it's opening game of the season, and being at home is a big advantage. And Arsenal, you know, haven't looked that sharp, but it is the opening game of the season. But they're leading 1-0 as well. Like, in a way, they're probably just thinking, let's defend well and wait for the opportunity on the break. Need Sesko badly for all the balls in the box, says Craig. Forever PVM says, what about half-time change? Good play by Casemiro. I don't know. I mean, KVB Galactico, thanks for subscribing on Prime. You're a legend. On Twitch. I think that look, I would like to have seen Sesko start. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get. I feel he'll come on around 60 minutes because he's probably been told, Amrim's probably been told, you can only play half an hour. Too much space for Odegaard here. I don't like how Odegaard keeps picking this up. Now it's Gyökeres. They've got men in the middle. Watch the back post. Crap cross by Gyökeres. Thank God for that. Butterf says, what's everyone's pick for Premier League winner? My guess is Man City. Oh, God, I hope not. Afraid this will be like Rangnick's good half in his first game. Hopefully not, says John. Mount's playing his heart out, says Evan. It's just great he can stay fit, isn't it? He's been fit all pre-season. And, you know, there's clearly a player there when he can stay fit. And that is half-time. Well, tell us your thoughts. I'm actually going to take a seat because I've been stood up for well over an hour. As much as I'm enjoying it, I do feel like I just need to have a little sit down. It is half-time. Don't forget to register for player ratings. You don't want to leave that late. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We do that on the Match Reaction show. It's free to register, and you can do it all season then. One-time sign-up. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so United 1-0 down at half-time. Let's just have a look. Let's go through some of the stats, actually. But look, I think my general thought is, obviously I'm intrigued by what you've got to say. But my general thought is that we've played well. Like, we've played well. We've had more possession than Arsenal, which you wouldn't expect. We've had more shots than Arsenal. We've had more shots on target than Arsenal. So the stats, the key stats back it up. We've played better than Arsenal have. But we are losing because of two things. One, Bruno in the midfield doesn't work, and that leads to a corner. And we didn't buy a goalkeeper, and that leads to a mistake. So in many ways, playing well is almost makes it more frustrating because you're sat here going, we look better. You know, give Amrim a pre-season and a couple of players and we get better. Dorgu came in January. You can visibly see as getting better down the left-hand side. Cunha and Mbeumo have come in the summer. And you can see when you get the ball into Cunha, we're better than we were last season in the number 10 area. You've still got Sesko to come on. People like De Ligt and Yoro are very reliable, good centre-backs as well. And look, Mason Mount's been fantastic when he stays fit. So we're better than last season. And Arsenal are one of the best teams in Europe. And we're holding our own and we're better than them. Of course, it's the first game of the season. We've got a history of playing better against the big teams. And it's Old Trafford. But it's an injustice to be losing 1-0 at half-time. But we're losing 1-0 at half-time because the club have ignored what Ruben Amorim wanted in the March international break. We said this on a show in the March international break, that Ruben Amorim and Jason Wilcox have made the decision that they want to replace Onana. Not because he's a bad guy, not because they don't like him, but because they don't feel he's the right guy for Man United. And here we are in August, the first game of the season, and we haven't brought a goalkeeper in. And what happens? A cross comes in, a little bit of a nudge, and the goalkeeper's palming it into his own net. It's so bloody frustrating because I think in football, there are so many niche arguments about, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. But 99.9% of this fan base would buy a goalkeeper this summer. And we haven't done it, and we're losing 1-0 because of it. And that frustrates you because you're like, everybody knows we should have done something about this, and it's cost us a goal in a tight game. And across the season, if we don't get back into this game, that's cost us 3 points or a point. And that's why teams like Arsenal don't have Binder in goal or an Onana in goal, because your goalkeeper, as we used to have with David De Gea, your goalkeeper does make a massive amount of difference. Your goalkeeper is the guy that can win and save you games, cost you games, etc. And as, unfortunately, is somebody that is costing us games. So, yeah, very, very disappointed with it. I've got the FOTMob app open, so I'm just going to go into a little bit more stat detail here before I get into your comments. So we know this, we know that. Total shots, we know. Physical performance, very, very similar. I'm loving the physical stuff, by the way. Not really bothered about walking, but look, sprints, very, very equal. And I think, look, all right, Arsenal are beating us slightly, but Arsenal are a team that are very well known for this. So we're almost matching them. I don't know why their XG is bigger than us. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But we've played more passes than them. We've been more accurate with the passes than them. We're making more passes in the opposition half. We know we've had more shots as well. We're winning more duels. We're winning more ground duels, and we're winning more aerial duels. What that means, you know, we're intense. We're on the front foot. We're doing well. I just want to check the running distances. Distance covered 5.4 by Bruno. 5.4 by Casemiro, and you match that up to, let's say, Zubimendi, 5.7, 5.8. I'm not surprised they're a little bit more. Mason Mount, 5.4. Cunha, 5.1. Odegaard, 5.7. Gyökeres, 5.9. Bloody hell. He does a lot of running, doesn't he? And Burmo, 5.4. We're slightly off them, but I would expect that, I suppose. Make sure you check out FOTMob. Fantastic little app. We're going to use that throughout the season as well. You can download it for free. Links in the description, or scan the QR code as it goes round. Impressive by Palace getting a draw. I keep forgetting that Palace got a draw. Let me get your thoughts. Go on, open that credit facility. We need a midfielder and a goalkeeper now. Cannot walk away from the obvious requirements no more, says Mojo. Legend of the chat, Mojo. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate that. HD Twitch says Binder and Onana need to go. They should be playing for a volleyball team. Players and Amrim to blame. No protection for the goalkeeper, says Umar. Same old United. Amrim picking favourites. It's a joke, says Jack. Cunha and Mbermo look worth the money based on the first half, says Sean. Vitek is better than these two flappers, says Jason. Think we're looking good. Boomer, brilliant, says James. Goalkeeper was crap, but every other team protects their goalkeeper, says Jimbo. I want to watch it again because I don't really understand why we've exposed our goalkeeper anyway. I want to have a look at who's watching who. Are they going to? Well, they're going to show the corner here actually. Marlowe says Bruno doesn't look good, has lost a yard of pace. It's going to cost us big time. I mean, I don't know. Mason Mount's involvement's a bit weird. He's marking Saliba and gets sort of bullied. And then, so Mount's marking Saliba. Saliba gets rid of him, and then he's on the goalkeeper. But Luke Shaw's on Gabriel. I don't know why De Ligt. It's not De Ligt's fault. It's obviously from the training ground. But I'd have De Ligt or Yoro on Saliba. But we're obviously doing zonal, aren't we? I don't know. Goalkeeper was crap. Thank you, Jimbo. Mark, despite the fact that neither a midfielder or a goalkeeper have been secured and our top choices seem to be off market right now, do you think we will get players for either position, says Jay? I mean, if we don't get a goalkeeper, then we're going to struggle. It was a positive performance. Casemiro venturing forward when Bruno also goes forward is a big risk, says Anil. Edison or Allison would never have been a foul, says Kanishka. Lamens, get on your private jet, says Al G. Dorgu, Mount, Cunha and Mbermo have been good. The holes are goalkeeper and midfield. The board need to pull up their socks, says Nigel. PK says, not a bad start, but since we're not picking striker, we should play the 2 goalkeepers and switch in a game where the ball goes out of play, says PK. And annoyed the club is at the mercy of terrible players refusing to leave. Goalkeepers are going to cost us points. Cunha is exciting. Need striker to finish off the counter, says Timothy Frank. Hi Mark, one of the best halves under Amrin, but only highlights the fact that United need a keeper, says Castlewell and Red. What are these half-time interviews, says A King. I didn't see it. Did anyone catch the half-time interview? Donnarumma is a powerful, tall goalkeeper. He would have dominated the player pushing him, says D. Get Sesko on, end of, says Ellie. Well, I think that's what the second half's all about, isn't it? How quickly can we do that? We look empty in the box and we need Sesko, says King. I don't know why fans are so critical of Bruno. When he keeps things simple and plays his role, we're complaining. When he tries to be fancy and be the centre of everything, we complain. Look, I think it's a mixed half from Bruno. Like, I don't think it's as bad as some people think, but there's... Look, my issue with Bruno in the midfield is he's just not very good at it. It doesn't mean he's going to misplace a pass or anything like that, but he's not going to make the tackles and make the runs and have the intensity that you need. So the midfield is a void. It's a vacuum, says Mitchell. Arsenal are making us look better than we are by sitting back. Arsenal can go up a gear or two. Our team selection is wild, says Niki. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that that's not happening. Odegaard got interviewed, says Data. Yeah, it's new. Think Arsenal look average, to be honest, is 1-0, 1 life. And we were the better team, but we need a goalie, says Ivan. Thank you very much. Well, look, I think that... let me just get the team up on the screen. I personally would be... I mean, ideally, I'd take Bruno off and put Mount where Bruno is and play Sesko in front of Cunha and Mbermo. I think what he's going to do is he's going to take Mount off and put Sesko on around 60 minutes. That's the sub I think he will make. And I think he will bring Ahmad on for Mbermo at some point as well, based on fitness. That's what I think will happen in my prediction. I don't think we'll see any subs at half-time. That's my thoughts. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you're on YouTube. We are very, very close to 151,000. In fact, we're only 70 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Remember, straight after the game, we've got my match reaction, player ratings, interactive. Then we've got our fan forum live from Manchester. We're also live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock, and every afternoon at 2 o'clock. Get involved. Still 2 weeks left in the transfer window as well. Lots to discuss. Will United be going into that transfer window? Well, even if we come back and win 3-1, you still need to buy a goalkeeper because he's made it a bumpy ride. Just got to buy a goalkeeper. Also think we need a midfielder as well. But look, Gyökeres has been very quiet. Arsenal have got a fantastic team, and at no point have I felt like we've been dominated. I'm annoyed because I predicted a draw, and I think we're well good for a draw at the moment. Gaza West, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Sesko, come on for Mount now. Mount is rubbish, says Man UFC. Come on. Good first half, but it's clear what our weaknesses are. Thanks. That's hot, hot, hot. Hot cup of tea. I need to find somewhere to put it. I've got so much stuff today. Need to streamline for the next game. Yeah, Cole says, good first half, but it's clear what our weaknesses are. Presence in the midfield and goalkeeper. Almost like we've been asking for that all summer. You've obviously been with us, pal. Sesko, come on for Mount, done that one. I remember when we were getting Bruno and Mark kept saying how he's definitely an 8, not a 10. No, I didn't. I've never... Joe, you have completely made that up. I have never said Bruno is an 8, not a 10. Never. Because if you remember correctly, when we signed Bruno... Ollie put him in the midfield and I lost my shit saying he's a 10, not a midfielder. So I've never said that. You've made that up. Can we not chip together to buy a keeper, says Joe. We could have easily won this half if we had Sesko starting. I've just realised you've rage baited me very well there, Joe. Thank you very much. We could have easily won this half if we had Sesko starting, says Vagabond. How did you go on with your FPL? I don't do it. Love this, Fot Mob. Our defence has had no interceptions, blocks. Defence is rock solid. Yeah, look. For me, 3 players of the half, I like to do that because I do man a match at the end, so I don't want to focus it down. I think De Ligt's been fantastic. I think Mason Mount's been fantastic. And It's hard actually to give a top 3 because I think Yoro's done well, Cunha's done well, and Mbeumo's done well. So let me give a 5. Dorgu as well has done very well. Look, there's been some good performances. I mean, I don't think Dalot's done bad. I don't think Mbeumo's done bad. You know, for me, you know, I think, you know, the keeper has cost us from having a very, very good half. Big shout out to FOTMob, by the way. Brilliant little app you can use for all your stats when you're watching the game. Obviously, I'm going to go through them, but I know how it works. You might want to have a look at distances covered and everything in detail. Download it, scan the QR code, links in the description for that. So, yeah, I don't think we'll see any changes at half-time, to be honest with you. United deserved an equaliser. Cunha and Mbeumo looking dangerous, says Supri. What a hit it was by Dorgu as well. That shot was rocket fuel, wasn't it? You know, I don't know where he got that from, but it was Days of Thunder. It was that well hit. It would have been an absolute screamer. 100 says, I'm a Liverpool fan. Not starting Sesko is criminal. Mentality tested later in the season for me. Thank you very much for that. If you're watching on Twitch, please do give us a follow. Thanks everyone who has subscribed as well. Really appreciate that. Northwestern Mountain says Jacob Ramsey to Newcastle confirmed. I thought he'd already gone. I thought that had already happened. Yeah. He's standing up for the second half. Yes. I don't like sitting down for football, really. I like to move. You know, that's what it's all about. Do you feel sorry for Bienda? No. I think these people need to go. I think we're Manchester United and we need to be pushing these people out the door. We're not a bloody charity. And the sooner we do that, the better. You know? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is this the Dorgu chance? Yeah, what a hit that was. I thought it was in. I genuinely thought that Dorgu chance was going in. He's hit it so well. And look, he's my glow up this season. I said it in pre-season. I think Dorgu, for some reason, our fan base has got no patience in certain sections of it. And I just think Dorgu is a well-known player before he comes to Man United as having great potential. And I think he's going to be a bloody brilliant player for us. I really, really do. And I think he's getting better and better all the time. Second half is about to start here. Let me get the timer ready for the second half. And Mbeumo starts it off right. I need to stand back up. Maybe I'll stay down here, actually, second half. See you later. Bye. Yeah, I'm going to stay down here. I should do that. You know, like the Liverpool 7-0. That's what I should have done. Just say, bye, I'm off. Bring on Seshko. No changes from Man United at half-time. Oh, Casemiro's lost it. Watch out. Declan Rice. Gyökeres. Crap. Boom shakalak. Thanks for subscribing with Prime on Amazon Twitch. Amazon Twitch with Amazon Prime on Twitch. Remember, you can do that for free through Amazon. Subscribe. Thank you very much for that. Mohammed says we've been playing very well. Agree. Akio says get rid of all the goalkeepers we've got and Bruno and get a number 6. We'll be good to go. Ivan's watching from Australia. Look, wherever you're watching from, let us know in the chat. I'm sure some of you are watching it in the early hours. We've watched a lot of crap at Manchester United. At least it is an interesting game. You can see me Premier League ball over there. Look, proper one. I hope we get a win or a draw and all the Deadwood need to go. This is a football club, not a charity, says Mohammed. A bad keeper already costing us 3 points. Not yet, Gukina. It's not over yet. I feel like we're lacking a presence in the box, says Atib. Sheshko says Funmilio. Need a striker in the box and we score, says Rain. Back in 15th, says Colin. Don't look at the league table at the moment. Corey says we need a new midfielder like Wharton. Arsenal don't look like title contenders, says Alfresco. Look, I know we lack patience in general society in the world now. It's opening game of the season. Like, when we used to win the league under Sir Alex, we'd start the season quite badly, quite regularly. Like, it's opening game of the season. The main thing is to just win games. And even if you don't, you can still get cooking. I don't think United's season really starts until game 10, as I've said. Some people can't deal with that. So we can get back into this game. Vamp says Gyökeres runs like he's crapped himself. Have you got experience of that? Mark, don't worry, Biunda is aura farming, says MGT. Thoughts on our formation? I don't like the back three, says Dylan. I think this, systematically, I think we've looked okay today. Considering we are relegation fodder, playing title contenders, we're not that bad, says Michael. Hilarious. Finally, some entertaining football, says Greg. I mean, what Arsenal are doing at the moment, Awi and Dende Matux, thanks for subscribing with Prime, by the way. Really appreciate it. And Bray Decker as well. What I would say is, here's Luke Shaw. Good block from Mason Mount. Mason Mount shot. Arsenal could do a lot better, but United's improved, says TG Day. Who would you bring Sesko in for? I'd bring him in for Bruno, but he won't. He'll take Mason Mount off. What I would say is, though, is that Garrett T makes a great point, by the way. He says, I've been Mount's biggest critic, but he's done great. No, I've always said about Mason Mount, he's a very frustrating player to have, but that's because he doesn't stay fit. My only problem with Mason Mount is his injuries, and that's, you can say that. Shotgun says, rest in peace, General Zod, if you know, you know. Drew, thank you very much for your super chat. But, look, Arsenal are 1-0 up at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season. They're not going to go on the front foot now. They've got the best defence in the league for the last 2 seasons. They're literally going to counter-attack us. So, as much as I'm going, Arsenal aren't playing very well, there is a tactical setup now where they're going to go, you've got to score. Let's see if you can break us down. And I think tactically that's the way they're going to go, especially this early in the season when they're not in full rhythm. And that's down to us, isn't it? We've got to be. I don't like the way Odegaard keeps picking the ball up in space. Mogaman, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Shadow says, I love Bruno's heart and the magic he can produce, but the team has hit its ceiling with him as a focal point. What are you having for tea tonight, Mark? You know what? Premier League's back. It's summer. I'm thinking like a pub lunch. Well, it'd be a bit late for pub. I'm thinking like a couple of pints and a curry or something tonight. Cheeky end of the weekend. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. United's going to change that mood, isn't it? Taking positivity from the effort and work rate created by these new signings, is AJ Tills. J. Dot says, I threw up blood yesterday. Do you think I'm going to be all right? I'd just visit the doctor. SK, the number of times I've seen Dorgu get the ball and in position to cross, but we need Sesko up there, says SK. Look, in a way, I think we've played well. And, if we lose 1-0, I'll be there to fight off the Amrim Outers. Don't worry about that. But I still believe we can get back into it. And I'd also say, imagine if we had a goalkeeper. And that's a lovely ball. Casemiro's lost it. And now it's Gyökeres. De Ligt's there, though. And he's tackled himself. And Casemiro wins it back. That's going to get clipped. I think Gyökeres is going to be a brilliant striker, but for those who think he's shit, that is gold dust. Absolute gold dust. Casemiro loses the ball with a silly flick. Odegaard gets it into Gyökeres, and then he tackles himself. Yeah, just going back to what SK said about Dorgu. Remember, whatever happens in this game, and I believe we can get back into it, but whatever happens in this game, we have got a striker to play up front that we spent £66 million on, And surely we'll get a goalkeeper. So those two things will make us even better. Bear Merchant says, solid performance ruined by one error. Cunha made us better. If we put Sesko in, we win, says Stretford End. And Unrealistic Seahorse says, my name is Reese. I've been watching you since 2018. I'm very hungover. I just want to say, I don't know what that is, but thanks, Reese. What keeper could we get if not Donnarumma? Emi Martinez could be possible. Lemens is certainly possible. Good play by Bruno. Go wide. Quicker, quicker, quicker! Stop bloody slowing it down. Speed is the key. Bruno's going to get booked. Did he get booked? I don't think we've had a booking, have we? I think the referee's on our side, you know, because Luke Shaw should have been booked in the first half and Bruno should be booked for that. No, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I don't think he is booking him anyway, is he? Definitely didn't get a booking, did we, in the first half? No. No, didn't get booked. We'll take that. We'll take that and party. Calafiori got yellow carded, yeah. 60,000 watching. Please share the video, get involved. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Another injury here, Casemiro. Bjorn says, definitely get to the doctors, J. Dot. If we had a goalkeeper, we'd be in a title fight, says Henry. James says, there's lots of positives. We're looking great. JJS says, what do you think about Arsenal's goal? Mate, you know, on That's Football, I do so many videos on VAR. Double substitution. Oh, no, Ahmad's coming on. This will be for Mbermo. I do load. If there's something to moan about, I'll do it. I mean, I think that should have been a red card for the Bournemouth player on Friday. But I can't moan about that goal because I moaned about it a year ago. Everyone said it's part of the game now, and it's part of the game now. Like, Saliba does bully Mount, and he does shove the keeper, but it's been happening forever. Oh, Delo for Ahmad. I like this. I like this. Attacking substitution from our manager. Do I like this? Yes, I do. I do. I Scooby-Doo. Delo was a passenger. Wow, I think it was a defensive setup and we need a goal. Like, why would you... Before the game, on the preview, I said that, yeah... Oh, I tell you what, Gabriel has recovered really well there because that ball from Bruno to Mbermo, if that's like Ben Mee or Tarkovsky, he's through one-on-one. It's just that little final ball. Here's Cunha up against Saliba. He's in the corner now. He's going to need some help. And he's won a free kick. That was so close to being a goal. Lovely ball by Bruno into Mbermo along the ground. He's sprinting through. Watch this. And it's great recovery pace by Gabriel. And Mbermo just can't quite get there. Get striker for Mount was sorted, says Ross Stephen. Would I take Ter Stegen, says Alda and Barca fan. I mean, mate, I take his brother at the moment. Like, I don't think anybody realises how bad our goalkeeping situation is. Look, Ahmad's on. As I was saying, I understand picking Delo before the game, but after the game, I think you've got to look at it and go, yeah, you know, we need... Sorry. See, there. That's the difference. We've literally just put a similar cross in and Raya deals with it. Virtually identical. And Raya deals with it under pressure. So annoying. But yeah, look, we picked Delo at the start of the game because obviously a bit defensive against Arsenal. We're losing 1-0. You've got to go attacking. So you get Ahmad on at right wing back. Go on, Bruno, on the back post. Goal kick. Playing very well, but we need to take our chances, says Mason. Get a striker on for Mount, says Ross. I own the dog. I don't know what that means, Jack. Enjoying the performance. We should be 0-0 or winning. Hopefully we can play like this against the smaller teams, says Edgar, because we do turn up against the bigger teams. Look at it, it's identical. De Ligt, that is so identical. De Ligt is all over Raya, and he deals with it. Saliba's all over Bienda, and he punches it in his own goal. Rib says Rice has been invisible. Let's get Sesko on. Would you trust Bienda in the Carabao? I think Saka's been quiet as well, hasn't he? Saka's been quiet. Rice has been quiet. Gyökeres has been quiet. And Indian for me tonight. If we lose, still happy, says Bounty Hunter. Maku says we need Donnarumma. De Ligt has been a rock, and he just put Saka to the ground. I wonder if the media will be giving him his flowers. I mean, I'd argue he's probably man of the match, De Ligt. I don't want to say he's put Gyökeres in his pocket because, although it's true, that could bounce back in my face. Casemiro is the best passer we have in deep midfield. Unlocks so many attacks. I can't blame Amrin for picking him. He has no options, says the Keystone. Why isn't Sesko on, says True too. Probably any time in the next 5 minutes. I think once we hit 60 minutes, the fitness department will have said, computer says yes. Don't let Sesko go. Don't let Saka go. Don't let Saka go. Rice, he was going to hit that. Over the bar. Playing very well, but we need to take our chances. And for Mason, would you take Edison, says Sia? No. Well, they're bringing Havertz and Madueke on. We've got a brilliant bench, Arsenal, this season. Gyökeres coming off. Well, if you thought De Ligt was good before Gyökeres went off, he's going to be even quicker now because he doesn't have to carry him around in his pocket. Kenzie and Decan, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, 60 minutes, I would say, why is he not on? Come on, lads. Still half an hour. Shaw's been solid. Yeah, Luke Shaw's done well, Evan. You know, Luke Shaw's done well. Mason Mount's done well. I mean, I just want United to do well. I think many of us do. I know there's people who seem to enjoy the badness. And the badness must be called out when it happens. But it almost also must be called out when it's not bad. And, you know, we're definitely better. I mean, I think it's a great point. We haven't got a point yet, but it's a great point that whatever happens here today, can you go and do it at Fulham next week and blow them away 3 or 4-0? Because that's what I'd expect based on a performance like this. And are we just raising it because it's Arsenal? But I think from going 1-0 down, I've been really impressed with the mentality. And I don't, you know, you can only be honest with what you see. And what we saw in the Europa League final was a bag of shit. And what we've seen here today against one of Europe's best teams with a lot of the same players is a lot better. Nick Warren coaching says Sesko brace. It is almost set up for that Anthony Martial moment, isn't it? Coming on against Liverpool, you know, in front of the Stretford end. It's set up for it. in a tight game whilst it stays 1-0. Havertz, watch out. De Ligt had to commit. They haven't got a lot of pace here, though. Well in De Ligt again. Well in De Ligt again. Brilliant tackle. Gets the ball back, and now Cunha's got it. As a supporter not convinced by Amram, it's good to see players backing his system. Flopperez, says Mike Swan. Alte's distribution has been good, says Hayden. It's a shame his handling isn't. Gyökeres is mid in the Premier League, says Jack. Yeah, I mean, I think Gyökeres will win the Golden Boot, so I'm not going to be one of those people who write a player off after an hour. As supporters not convinced by Amorim, it's good to see players clearly back in his system. Oh, I thought it was Sesko. It's Agate. It is Sesko. It's Sesko time. Let's go, Sesko. Here we go. I saw Agate and I was like, oh. He's going to have half an hour here. I would imagine Agate for Casemiro and Mount for Sesko. That's what I would think. And now Mount's got a bit of space down the left-hand side. Interesting ball. Calafiori gets it back. EXO, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Appreciate that. Thanks everyone who's tuning in there. Kakan says another centre midfield out there, Zubimendi style, would be Palacios from Leverkusen. Can get Ten Hag to open up negotiations. I like him. Oh, look, the Bundesliga. I mean, look, the Bundesliga is the league now. I like the Italian league. La Liga's interesting at times, but the Bundesliga is the place to be looking for talent. I mean, we've seen it this summer. It's just full of talent. Rice, good block. De Ligt. I mean, De Ligt for me is a 9 out of 10. And we've got other good players on the pitch, but he has been unbelievable. Swish, I'm too Sesko for my shirt. So here we go. Agate's coming on. Mason Mount's coming off. We thought that would happen. Good. Casemiro and Mount. Mount's had a brilliant game. Absolutely brilliant game from Mason Mount. Maybe he can only play an hour. Maybe they have to manage his injuries. I don't know. But we're going to get 25 minutes of Sesko. Surely, well, I'm not going to say surely because you just don't know. But maybe we're going to get that moment. Just want to have a quick look. I'm just going to use FOTMob. You can download it for free through the link in the description or the QR code that's on the page at the moment. I just want to have a quick look at Mason Mount's game. He's gone off. How do I get Mason Mount back? There he is. 7.6 kilometers covered. Chances created 2, shots 2. Block shots, touches. Accurate long balls 67, tackles 1-1, ground duels 1. Overall, very good. And just to give you a comparison, 7.6 covered, 8.2 Zubimendi, 8.2 Odegaard, 8.2 Rice. So good performance from Mount. Casemiro, 7.6, 7.7. I'm really interested in that this season. I want to see how our running stats bear up. Because, you know, when you're matching up to Arsenal, I think that's really important. Right, can we get Sesko serviced here? Shout out to Augustin from Burma. Happy birthday, says nothings. Thank you very much. Deserve a draw, says Deccan. Rachel Scott, thank you very much for becoming a member. Love that. Thank you very much for supporting us. What was your score prediction? I said 1-1. I said a draw in win, lose or draw that I do with That's Football on Robbie. And I did say 1-1 as a score prediction. Here's Ahmad. So it's all set up for it. We deserve it. Not a great cross by Ahmad, but he wants a handball. I don't think we're going to get it. We deserve a draw. I know Arsenal fans will say you don't. We do. You don't deserve to win this game. You don't. I'm sorry. Our goalkeeper's messed it up. We deserve a draw. Makeda moments as AJ Tills. No, I'm thinking Martial, Liverpool debut. Bang. PK says, can't recall a bad decision from the ref. I think the ref has been good because he's been probably a little bit more us than them. Always distribution has been really... sorry, done that from Hayden. Thank you very much. Keeper of the goal says, Man United look the better team. Don't forget, we've got our player rating show coming up straight after that. Well, it's not a player rating show. It's my match reaction. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat because if you want to do that, you mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. And then it aggregates everybody's player rating. So you get thousands of you voting the most accurate and best Manchester United player rating system there is. Lovely spin and turn by Cunha. This is what he can do. It's into Mbermo. Another new signing. This is what he can do. Oh, Arsenal again defending well. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Teams won't be able to defend as well as that this season. And Mbermo on the half turn. Cunha with the ball at his feet is a joy to watch. It's like rolling back the years to Gaza. This is what we were talking about in pre-season. We don't do it enough. And isn't it funny? Well, it was happening before, but this is where it will really work when there's a striker. Arsenal, I mean, I'm not going to moan about it. Arsenal and, you know, last-ditch defending, they're bloody good at it. I'm feeling there has to be a moment. There's just got to be an equaliser. I don't. Cunha and Odegaard having a bit of a set too. He's a passionate player, Cunha, and I love it. I'm here for it. If you call out running stats, players will see, says Connell. Exactly. Exactly. I'm loving this from FOTMob. We've got the stats. We can look at the running stats, and I've always wanted them. And I was speaking to them about it over the summer, and they were like, well, we're doing it. And I was like, this is great because it's so hard to get them. Occasionally, you'll get an article in January, halfway through the season, talking about running stats. But to have it for every game, yeah, it's brilliant. And you'll be able to call, you know, you'll be able to see who's doing it and who's not. Looks like Ben White's going to come off here. Been missing the passion of Cunha, says Evan. Giving last season City vibes at the Etihad, says Lad. Bruno should be subbed. He's tired and unable to mark anyone. We're never going to sub Bruno, Anil. You know, this is exactly what we were talking about the 100 million. If Amrim decides to keep him, then we as fan base has to back that. And he'll play every minute of every game. And that's why you don't see Mainu on the pitch. You only see Agate because he is unsubbable. Whether that's right or wrong, you know, you can't be surprised about it. Frad says, I just know the bomb squad are pissed off watching this. We're looking dangerous, Marks, as bounty hunter. I'm just hoping we can get Sesko in. But here's Havertz. Of course, we must respect Arsenal and be wary of the fact that they've not really created anything themselves. Lovely play by Dorgu, and that's a goal kick. Whether we win or lose, Ethan says, whether we win or lose the game, United look really exciting. If we play against the weaker opponents like this, we should win more games. Look, Newcastle lost 12 and got 5th. From what I've seen today, get a goalkeeper, get a midfielder, and play like this most weeks, and it would be a huge improvement. But flip side, I'd be saying in the week, if we do lose, yeah, we've looked good today, but how many times have we looked good against the top teams and then we don't turn up against the others? So Fulham would become absolutely huge next Sunday. Can you call my mate Richard a prat, says James. Richard Wellings, you're a prat. If you call out running stats, players will see them. Bruno should be subbed, says Anil. About to jinx it, but ref hasn't been bad, says TK. Right, here's Cunha again. This is where you get the ball to Cunha. Go wide to Dorgu. Now, cross it for Sesko. Oh, it's over him. Mbeumo! Oh! How has he saved that? Bruno. Dink. Sesko. Oh, wide. Not too much. Not enough power in it. I thought Mbeumo'd scored. I really thought he'd scored. Dorgu's cross. Mbeumo's up. Oh, it's a good save. I don't think it's a worldie. But it's a good header by Mbeumo. It's down. Yeah, he's not at full stretch. It's sort of in his arms. It's a good save, but I don't think Mbeumo can do any more with that. I really don't think he can do much more with that. Oh, God. Just need that moment. Felix says, don't shout like that again. I've just had a bloody heart attack. Well, mate, I thought we'd done it. I thought we'd bloody done it, mate. Still 15 minutes to go. Foul by Šeško. Just need a bit of luck here. Well, Arsenal had some luck, didn't they? I mean, that goal was a gift. An absolute bloody gift. The clock's running down. Stress, stress, stress. Need to start looking for Sesko on the cross. Danny says, I can see odds on Cunha getting sent off against City. Dean says, Cunha and Mbeumo looking insane, such an upgrade. I'm just hoping we can feed it in. Bruno all over the place. I mean, look, Bruno's running stats, I can't wait to see. Can you call Amar Hill Al-Hali a prat, says Yahya. Sapatashi, thank you very much. Really happy with how we're playing, says Quackworth. Yeah, but you know what? As much as I'm loving it, and it's a big improvement, lovely play by Ahmad. Shouldn't be shooting from there. That's old school. Don't shoot from there, mate. That's Garnacho, Anthony and Rashford years. That's shit, mate. Don't shoot from there. He can't be doing that. We'll let him off because we love Ahmad, but you can't be doing that. You've got to put the cross in. You've got a big guy in the middle. You've got a free cross. Put it in. Put it in. Yeah, it's like I said, isn't it? Arsenal just playing the game at the moment. Good play by Ahmad. Oh, Sesko, laid off. Oh, just wouldn't go to Mbeumo. Good play by that Cunha. It is Luke Shaw. Cross into the box. It's a good one. Ray's going to get onto the end of that. They're asking for a foul on Ahmad. You don't get those. Come on, 12 minutes to go. Ahmad's getting a lot of space down here. Back from Cunha. He should get there. No, they're going to clear that away as well. Amazing how hard it is to take the ball off Cunha, says Nizam. We need to keep up the pressure. One of these will go in, says the Inquisition. Forget the score for a minute. Fantastic performance, says DK. Just a stupid error. Harry Maguire's coming on. I don't know who he came on for. Luke Shaw. Yeah. It's probably about minutes, isn't it? Cunha or Dorgu, man of the match, says Kobe. I think De Ligt, but, you know, I ain't going to argue with you. It's great to have people, you know, more than a few people. Love you, Mark, from Australia, says AA. Even if we lose, I'll be happy with the progress, says Jack. Maguire's just giving up a foul here, hasn't he? Yeah. I've got to say, I'm not pissed off with the team. I think the team's done well, but I'm just pissed off that we're going to, you know, you make progress and then, you know, we're staring down the barrel here of a really unfortunate loss. Arsenal look like a team fighting relegation, says Jose. Win or lose, Mark, I wanted to see improvement, says Ash. Look, it's never been so true. If you're judging United in the first 10 games, I really think our season gets going between games 10 and 30, and I really do think 5th place is our limit. So it's good that we can give a game to somebody like Arsenal like this, but we still need a goalkeeper, we still need a midfielder, and I don't think we were ready for the start of the season. This is basically Arsenal's best team. And we've caught Arsenal on a day where, you know, they can definitely be better, but... And Mbeumo and Cunha breathing so much life into the team, says Marcus. We're dominating them, says Stampsy. Yeah, but look, I don't know whether you understand football, but since Arsenal are 1-0 up away from home, they're going to play counter-attacking football. You know, I accept that we've played well. We definitely have. Oh, God, good That's a corner for Arsenal. Lord Maguire hat-trick coming on. We definitely played really well, but obviously Arsenal, I think, for most of this half have been counter-attacking because they're 1-0 up. But we've been the better team, you know? It's annoying the way we aren't going to... We could lose because of an error. If we aren't going to get a CM, please get a goalkeeper, says Another substitution for Arsenal. Right, this is a corner. Be careful. Be very careful here. Saka up on the back post. They're there. I think we've got rid of that. Still 8 minutes to go. Still Arsenal have it. And they've given a free kick to us. Bruno. Come on, somebody, just a moment of magic, please. Nice ball into Cunha. Come on. Delit. The cross is deep. Dorgu. Edge of the box. Maguire. Hit it! He wouldn't be able to hit it from there. Come on. This is where we need to get the crosses into the box. This is what look at Seshko. He's bloody massive. Look at him. Got to get the ball in the box. Going to book him, isn't he? Brilliant, yeah, brilliant result for Arsenal. Arsenal have a tough run of games coming up, so it makes sense to them to pace themselves and try to win with as little effort. They've got Liverpool in 2 games' time. I mean, look, if you're Arsenal, you're probably a bit squeaky bum here because it's a brilliant 3 points. They want to win a title. Winning when you're scrappy. No passes or crosses for Seshko, says Melo. If we lose to set pieces, it really hurts, says John. We won the first game of the season last year and that didn't do as much good, says Darren. It's annoying the way we could lose because of a goalkeeper, says Erman. Just frustrating. Frustrating. You feel if we created that clear-cut chance, we'd score it as well. Time's run out. What do you think about a title? I'm not talking about the league title. I'm talking about what do you think of a title for the match reaction? Don't forget to register your player ratings. You can start voting now. Links in the description or it's pinned in the live chat. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average to do that. Get involved with that. Thank you very much, everybody. Just register and you can do it for the whole season. Sign a keeper. Sign a keeper. We haven't put a decent cross in yet, Daryl, no. Thanks everyone who's tuned in by Twitch, on Twitch, by the way. Thanks everyone who subscribed. And please do give us a follow on there. We're heading up to 288,000. Agate, never do that again. Yeah. You'd think we would work some crosses into Šeško, wouldn't you, really? Yeah, Marcus Saw W says, what's the point of a striker when we don't put a fucking cross in? I mean, Christopher says it will be a frustrating loss for sure. Anders. Be a cracking bloody result for Arsenal, won't it? Can't believe they must think it's bloody Christmas. Here we go. Come on. Now get a cross in. I mean, Ahmad's not going to put a natural cross in because he hasn't got a right foot. So he's got to go back to Bruno. At least Bruno's covering that position. You've got to work the natural cross. Nice ball into De Ligt. Oh, Maguire was so close. Fancy losing to a goal like that as well. Put the cross in. Mbeumo. Sesko. He's unmarked. De Ligt. Dorgu. Bastard. That's it. We've got to start putting some crosses in here. We've been the better team, says Twitch Skywalker. 100%. 100%. Come on. Push. I want 1-1. I said 1-1. Bruno. It's going to go for a goal kick. How long is he going to add on? There's not been lots of minutes added on this start to the season. Billy says, first game of the season and we lost because of the keeper. I'm fuming, really, about that. Scanning for a penalty there. To be fair, if they referred it, this ref would probably give it. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. I just want to have a quick look. I have got time. Actually, I'll do the FOT mob distance covered on the match reaction, actually. I wanted to see who's covered the most distance on the whole pitch. How long's going to get added on, ref? I think about 15 minutes. 6? You're on the take. You bloody cheat. Ball's in their half at the moment. Odegaard. Don't let him shoot. Oh, God. Wild shot. That's going to go for a corner. Saka. Saka's been kept very quiet. Gyökeres was in De Ligt's pocket. You know, we have defended well. Mean anything at the end of the day. Good block by De Ligt again. I think De Ligt's my man of the match. I think he's got to be my man of the match. I mean, I agree, Dorgu, Cunha, but Jay Bird says 1-1 is the deserved result. You don't always get what you want. You don't always get what you want. Or you deserve. I need my passport, says Darren Freeman. Seriously, though, I'm impressed despite the result. After watching this, I would take a world-class goalkeeper over any other position, says DK. I still think the midfield's problematic, mate. I still think the midfield... Is he giving a free kick? Yeah, yellow card. Timber on Mbermo. No, Lewis Skelly, sorry. Welcome to United Seshko, where you get no service, says Mud. Will be phrased, Christopher, thank you very much. How are we losing this game, says Clayton? Because we didn't sign a goalkeeper. That's... Still in. Still 3 minutes. Come on. You got Maguire, Delit, Shesko. Put it in the mixer. Delit will score. Put it in the box. Go on, Bruno. Long ball. That's it. Edge of the box. It's going to be a foul. Agate. See that coming a bloody mile off. I didn't realise there were so many buses in London, says Craig. Lots of them. Would I have took this before the game? No. No. No, I wouldn't have took this before the game. Because it's a loss. I fancied a draw. I think we deserved a draw. And we haven't got a draw. And there are positives. I mean, I don't want to see any bloody hammer him out bollocks. And I suppose that's the only positive I would take is that we're going to lose a game and people can't say hammer him out. But it's very disappointing because it's self-induced. Dale says Agate does my head in giving away cheap fouls. Nothing good comes from Agate, says Jeffrey. We've been the better team, but Arsenal always have a guy in the right spot in the defence. They're a brilliant defensive side. It's not by chance, Uncle Drew. I think both defences have played very, very well today. All Agate's done is give the ball away, says Phil. It's probably why he wants a midfielder. Look, this is a corner. Bruno's on it. This is exactly where they scored. Put it in on the goalkeeper. Get Shesko, Maguire and Delit to just barge him and use their hands. Get it in. Suck it in. It's a good cross. No. Oh, straight at bloody Raya. Couldn't believe it. Oh, look at this from Odegaard. He shouldn't be quick enough. Saka's got it. There's only 45 seconds left. Oh, bloody hell. Come on. You've got to move, Binder. Come on. There's 30 seconds left. Long ball. Maguire. Second ball. No. Second ball again. That's a lovely play. That's going to be it. Odegaard. Saka. They're running through here. No, keeper's going to get it. Come on. One last attack. Bruno, that's going to be it. Fucking hell. Oh. Fucking chair. Fucking hell. I mean, look, I'm not fuming in the sense of the words, but it's just so bloody disappointing to lose that game. It's so disappointing. Like, it just shouldn't have happened. And you know what? It's because we didn't buy a bloody goalkeeper. It's as simple as that. Didn't buy a goalkeeper, so, you know, that's what happens. Apparently, Gary Neville just gave Odegaard man of the match. Wow. Wow. Maybe he's trying to grow his Arsenal fan base. I mean, what game? Well, I know what game he was watching. He was paid to bloody commentate on it. What? Anyway, that doesn't matter. What does matter is you can do your player ratings. Links in the video description. There it is. You can scan that QR code. I'm going straight over to the match reaction. I'm bloody fuming. I'm fuming with one thing. And it's cost us something, again, today, that the club needs to start figuring it out. You can't go into a season not ready. And we're not ready because we didn't buy a bloody keeper. It's as simple as that. Get your votes in on player ratings. I'll be with you there in a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching. Take care. Big shout out, everyone.